Okay, we're going to roll right into the 6th Annual Quaker State 400 presented by Advance Auto Parts, Kentucky Speedway. Our third place finisher, he was running up in the top 5 all night, and that's Ryan Newman. He's the driver of the number 31 Caterpillar Chevrolet for Richard Childress Racing. Ryan, talk about the race. It certainly had a lot of twists and turns, certainly looked like the cars were a handful, and certainly there at the end there was a lot of strategy involved. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't think there was a driver here that didn't have a handful at some point in turn 3 tonight, but a good, well-played race by Luke and all of us to get the finish that we did. We did have a good car. We just never seemed to be able to get good track position, and played the fuel game there at the end. Did what I had to do, what I thought I had to do, and with no fuel gauge or any kind of telemetry, was able to make it to the end. So was hoping that we were going to be the first guy that could pull that one off, not the third guy, but just proud to get our first top 5 of the season with the Caterpillar Chevrolet. And guys at ECR and RCR and everybody's been working really hard, and a night like this is definitely something that we are really proud of.
Questions for Ryan? If you have one, raise your hand. We got a wireless mic. We'll start right here with the young lady in the middle, and then we'll go to Mark Story and then to Tucker.
Emily Spink with Popular Speed. Ryan, how is RCR right now as an organization, and how are you all going to approach the second half of the season, and what improvements you can make to get into victory lane?
Well, we've definitely been building. We started the season off decent, but not where we wanted to be or what we thought we should have been, and been building on it. I think the cars have gotten better, the engines have gotten better. We've been more competitive. We've still got some more work to do. We're not leading a bunch of laps or leading the most laps in a given race and talking about how we didn't win. We're talking about how we can finish in the top 5. So we've got some work to do, don't get me wrong, but I'm proud of the effort that went into tonight.
Let's go to Mark Story.
Hi, I'm Mark Story from the Lexington Herald-Leader. There's a lot of talk here at Kentucky Speedway in terms of the repave about trying to season it so that it would drive not like a brand new track, like an older track. Did it work?
I think it did, but it didn't. I mean, everybody's got their own idea, right? If it was me, it would have been done better. But I think if you took the tire machine and just focused on the middle to upper groove and let the race cars work on the bottom groove, it would have helped. I wasn't here to see how many laps they ran or where the guy drove the tractor around and what all that stuff was and what tire they used when they did that. So could it have been better? Obviously, anybody can say that. But for our first race, I said before Carl got in here, I think everybody had a hard time getting into turn 3. It's kind of a design aspect of the racetrack. But I was happy that we didn't have any tire problems like the Xfinity cars and the truck cars did. So kudos to Goodyear for making that tire change after the tire test. As much as we hate that, coming to a tire test as a group, as organizations, to change a tire after a test, it looks like it was the right call.
We'll also invite Carl Edwards up to the podium. He's up there right now. He's our race runner-up. He's the driver of the number 19 Aris Surfboard Toyota. And Carl, certainly, as I alluded to earlier, it looked like it was a handful out there driving that race car tonight. And then there at the end, boy, it looked like you were going to get to the number 2 car, and maybe another half lap you might have, but just your thoughts about tonight's race and maybe there towards the end as well.
Yeah, I thought he was out of fuel, and he wasn't, so he played it perfectly. He let me get to him and then stood on it. But we had an opportunity to win the race, and I really appreciate my crew chief putting us in that position, and TRD and the power and the fuel mileage that we get. Those are great engines, so we had a shot at it. We just weren't able to do it. Saved a little too much.
Questions for either Carl or Ryan? Raise your hand. Questions, Carl or Ryan? Right here in the middle. Go ahead.
Emily Spink with Popular Speed. Carl, you guys looked like you did a lot of work yesterday in practice. How did the track change throughout the night, and how did your car from the start of the race to the end of it?
My car drove a lot differently than it did in practice. I felt like things changed a lot. And then throughout the night, 2 tires and 4 tires and adjustments were, it was really hard for me. I don't know how everybody else dealt with it, but it was hard for me to get the car to do what I wanted to do. And, it was very difficult to drive. So I think that's why you saw a lot of the trouble. I imagine other people were having trouble as well. But that what Ryan talked about, that flat turn 3 entry and how tough that is, I think that kind of makes up for the repave a little bit. It it makes it a little bit. It keeps them. There's something out there that shakes the field up a little bit, and that's good.
Additional questions for Ryan or Carl? Go ahead, we got one downstairs, and then we'll go upstairs.
Al Stilley from Hoosier Times Incorporated. You've got 2 races coming up, Indianapolis kind of at the tail end of those. Even though this was a fuel mileage race, does this give a little momentum to either team going into the next 2 races?
For me, obviously, yeah. I mean, it's 4 places better than our best finish all year. So our first top 5, and from an organization, that our team at least, that's a big deal. So proud of that effort leading into this stretch of races, especially where we are in the chase. To have a good points night, even though it wasn't a win, it's a small victory in itself.
Yeah, and for us, our Toyota's been really fast, and we just got to keep the throttle down and keep moving forward. It's easy to get bogged down in this summer stretch, for the crew guys and for everyone. So we just got to keep pushing.
Let's go upstairs first, and then we'll go to Tim. Go ahead upstairs.
ChrisKnightCatchfence.com. Carl looked like you were trying to pass Keselowski there in turn 2, and it looked like he was out of gas, and then he just seemed to like flip the switch and he took off. Did you think he was out of gas, and did you think he had to race one?
Yeah, I thought he was out of fuel coming off of 4, but he actually did it very well. If he didn't beat me, I'd be more impressed, but I don't know how that works. I guess I'm impressed that he did beat me, but I don't want to be. He waited. He basically shut the car off and went right off of 4 and matched it perfectly to where I couldn't get by him down the front straightaway, and then he ran like heck through 1 and 2. And I thought maybe he'll run out down the back straight. Man, I dove it down in there and trying to catch him into 3, and I couldn't even get to him. So
Should have hit him.
I tried really hard to get to him, but I couldn't. He was fast, and he actually had a very fast car all night. So I guess that helps 1% of the pain, but they earned it. I mean, they did a good job. They had a fast car and they got the fuel mileage, and Brad did everything right.
Let's go to Tim right here. Go ahead.
I'll follow up on the fuel, Carl, back here. How confident were you that he was out, and what was the calculation involved there?
Oh, I already had things bought. I knew what I was going to play on that jukebox. I had the whole thing figured out. We'd won the race. I was pretty sure we were going to win it. So that's tough, but that's the way it goes, man. You just gotta, these guys, everyone, everyone that we race against, these are the best in the world, and they always have an ability to pull something out. So they surprised me tonight.
Any additional questions? Well, Carl or Ryan, thank you for putting on a great
Thank you.
performance here this weekend. Good luck.